Jayden Daniels and the Washington Commanders are rewriting how we look at football and how teams are approaching offensive play calling. Unbelievable scenes. This is after Washington beat Tampa Bay in the playoffs, and Jayden Daniels was electric, is saying it mildly. He was incredible. Today we're going to talk about some underlying analytics and just take a look at exactly what Washington is doing and why it's so surprising.
We got a lot of football to break down, and we'll start with that cat you just saw. Jayden Daniels ran for a critical first down to set up a Zane Gonzalez's 37-yard field goal that clanged off the right upright and went through as time expired. And the Commanders beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 23-20 in an NFC wildcard game Sunday night for the franchise's first playoff win in nearly 7,000 days, and will face the Lions Saturday. Here's Jayden on the win and Baker on the loss.
So real quick, I just want to show y'all what I'm talking about with the Commanders. So the Commanders, and this is from Ben Baldwin on Twitter, but if you look at what the Commanders were doing offensively, they were unsuccessful running the ball, especially on first and second down. And they would get put into these third and mediums, third and intermediates, and then all of a sudden their EPA went through the roof on third down and fourth down because of Jayden Daniels. I mean, you can look at the EPA per play here. Early rush, negative 0.27. Rush in general, negative 0.18. Early pass, 0.19. And then on third and fourth down, 0.45, 0.51 rush, 0.44 pass. They are insane on third and fourth down. And this team is crazy because on first down, they're horrible. First down, second down, they're terrible. Not good, especially running the football. They keep doing it for some reason, though. They don't abandon it, and then Daniels bails them out. And they play, when you are playing like you have four downs all the time, and when you're not worried about the typical down structure that football has, it's kind of hard. It's kind of weird to watch because it's almost like impossible to stop them on third and whatever or fourth and whatever, which then makes it impossible for them to get off the field. And then all of a sudden they have these like 12, 14 play drives. I mean, if you look at this, the Commanders had the ball for 35 minutes, 11 minutes longer than the Bucs, but they had 82 yards rushing with 2.5 yards per rush. These things don't equal. They don't add up. These things don't usually happen. You don't usually hold the ball for this long while simultaneously not being able to run the football. They couldn't run the ball at all. 2.5 yards per rush, 82 total yards, and yet they just dominated the clock. And then you look at 8 for 15 on third downs. You look at 3 for 5 on fourth downs. And then if you go look at the play-by-play, Tampa ties it up 2020 with what, 5 minutes left? Let's see. They kick the field goal. Yeah, 5 minutes left. They never get the ball again. That's just it. You tie it up with 5 minutes, never even see it. Never even think about seeing the ball again. These drives are insane. If you look at, you got 7 plays, 4-minute downs. You get 17 plays, 92 yards, 9-minute drive. You got 11 play, 5.5-minute drive. You have a 10 play 5-minute drive, a 12 play 5.5-minute drive, and then it finishes with a 10 play 5-minute drive. Tampa gets the ball 3 times in the second half. One time was off the fumble in their own red zone. So it's just insane to see. This is the definition of 7 is greater than 3 times 2. So they're living by that. They're living by, look, we don't want to kick field goals. They're living by, we're going to go for it on fourth down because we don't think that they can stop us. And if we do it enough, it won't matter that we miss it a few times. Like when Washington when they went for it straight down the field, turned it over on downs, I thought it was over. I thought it was like a crazy decision, but turns out it's like it doesn't really matter. If you look at this box score, exactly what I'm talking about. Like, they just believe that you can do this a couple of times. You can go for it on downs, miss it. As long as you score touchdowns and it turns into something like this, it turns into a 13-10. That is the definition of 7 equals, or 7 is greater than 3 times 2.
Nah, not at all. I don't know. It probably won't hit me until whenever this rookie campaign ends. Kind of in that mode. It's like, hey, one game at a time. Now we're focusing on Detroit. We got a short week, so we got to get our bodies back right to move forward for Saturday night.
I mean, right now it absolutely sucks. So it's disappointing overall, because I believe in this team. I believe we had the talent and the coaching staff and everybody around us to be able to go far. But looking back, trying to take a step back, big picture, is this group fought.
He may be a rookie, but he was looking like a vet. Shay Sharp, you take it first. Was last night more about Jayden advancing or Baker losing?
Jayden.
What is about Jayden Daniels? If you look at it, a situation like this, guys, Jayden Daniels was sensational. And if we go back and study his tape all year long, guys, if you look at him, we've seen him do this more times than not. There have been more situations in which Jayden Daniels have been on the winning side because of his play late in the ball game. We saw him do it against the Eagles. We've seen him do it against Chicago. We've seen him do it a number of times. He plays way beyond the years of being a rookie. And so we're not surprised that when a game is this close, one turnover can doom you. It was that one turnover that Baker had when he fumbled the football. They were up 17-13, and now all of a sudden it gives the Commanders another crack at the ball, and they get the ball in there. But Jayden Daniels was sensational. They had him dead to right. I think the 94 Yancey had him on fourth, had him stopped. He does a great job to stiff arm him. He gets around the edge. He dives for the first down. And we all know they run the clock down. They kick a doink field goal, and they win the ball game. Baker didn't play particularly bad. He was 50.
Well, that's the thing. The Bucs didn't play bad. Like, the Bucs dominated the line of scrimmage. The Bucs defensive line dominated Washington. Washington was the second worst team in pressure allowed in the first round of the playoffs. But it just didn't matter. Like, they just, and whether it's Daniels being great, whether it's Daniels bailing them out, but the way that they operate, it is they kind of grind you out. And if you keep it close, if they keep it close, they are more than happy to take these little 3-4 yard plays with Daniels, basically, where he's just great, continues moving the chains, and they will matriculate down the field 10, 12, 15 play drive, chew up clock, and then, one turnover. The game is so condensed that because of that turnover, the Buccaneers basically got the ball twice in the second half, even though dominated the line of scrimmage, got a ton of pressure on Daniels, and completely stopped the run from Washington. Even though all those happened, didn't matter.
18 of 18, had 2 touchdowns. Obviously, situation, the disparity of the plays, 69-44. But when you have a turnover that late in the ball game, no matter how well you play, hint, turnovers late, guy played well, it can doom your chances of winning. And that's what happened with Tampa Bay. But this was more about Jayden Daniels. Even though he's a rookie, I couldn't tell.
It took you 3 minutes to try to get one in there. This about Jayden
no, my bad, Dad.
This is about Jayden Daniels. This organization was a mockery for what feels like 15 or 20 years outside of that brief little window that they had with RG3. This is about a guy, he was the second quarterback taken, and he's doing this. He should have been the first quarterback taken. This is a guy that, 6 weeks ago, Shannon, Stephen A. Molly maybe started to hit that rookie wall. If you remember that Thursday night game, I believe, versus the Eagles, when he didn't play well and he didn't look like himself, and that offensive rookie of the year conversation with him and Bo Nix, it got a little interesting. It's about a young man that everyone said, well, is he going to survive? This is a long season in the NFL. Can't go running in the NFL like you did in the SEC. Or you know what? Maybe he was as good as he was in college because he had those two.
Well, I think this is like, how football changes so fast and it evolves, especially offense. I think this is the new version of what's next offensively, is that you look around the league, you look at Lamar Jackson, you look at Josh Allen, you look at Jayden Daniels, and you look at what they want to do. Think about if you're sitting there and Baltimore has it 3rd and 4, you're sitting there like, this isn't going to work. Like, there's no way we stop them. They can do so many different things. We have to worry about so many different players. Stopping Lamar here is impossible. And that's what it felt like watching Jayden Daniels, where 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, anything like that, good luck. Same with Josh Allen. Josh Allen, 3rd and 1, you might as well just move the change. 4th and 1, move the change. And because they're so efficient, like there's no need. 4th and 1, 4th and 2, 4th and 3, they're going for it and they're going to get it. So it just changes everything. And this is the next evolution. Is we've heard it for 20 years where 3 yards of play 4 times in a row is 12 yards as a first down. They're taking that literally and they're doing it. And we're seeing it's just so difficult on a defense to survive these 13, 14, 15 play drives for an entire game. Even if you do stop them, just like we saw Tampa stop Washington on downs, just what it does to the defense and wearing them out, or was that a part of what happened in the last drive for Tampa? I don't know, but it just seems like this is that evolution. This is what you want your team to be able to do. I know having Josh Allen back there, it just seems so much more dangerous than having Matt Stafford back there. As much as I love Stafford, but having Stafford on 3rd and 4, so okay, I kind of generally know what we have to stop. Having Allen back there on 3rd and 4, you have absolutely no clue what you have to stop.
Ridiculous receivers. How's that working out, everybody? This is about a young man that has gone to the Commanders and totally changed the next 10 years. But it's also about a coaching staff that was cast off. Dan Quinn, not good enough, get out of here. Cliff Kingsbury, not good enough, get out of here. And the fact that he's doing this, and I'm not trying to disrespect anybody in this regard, but he's doing it really with a below average offensive line in Terry McLaurin. Advantage of the situation, and strictly because.
Well, I would say as far as like Cliff Kingsbury, like you have to have some questions for Cliff, where it's like, just like I showed you, they're putting themselves in horrible situations. Like they have to take a look at what they're doing on early downs, and they got to change something. But if you look at those EPA numbers, like if Daniels does not bail them out more than 50% of the time on 3rd downs and more than 50% of the time on 4th down, something they've done all year long. If Daniels isn't doing that, they are putting themselves in horrible situations. I mean, you don't want to be living in that 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 world with what the Commanders were happy to live in Tampa. It just so happens that Daniels is that good.
He's got all the necessary attributes of what it takes to play at that position at a high level. As us going, can Washington go to Detroit and upset the Detroit Lions?
Y'all, you two amaze me. You really, really do. I mean, first of all, you're both wrong. And here's the reason why. We're not talking about the season. We're not talking about his rookie campaign. We're talking about yesterday. Yesterday. Baker Mayfield has the ball with a 17-13 lead and fumbles. That's what happened. They don't fumble the ball. They don't turn it over, Shannon. They don't turn it over, Dan Orlovsky. Is the Buccaneers losing this game? In all likelihood, I'd say no. I'd say no. We don't know that for sure. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to imply that we do. I'm just prognosticating from the standpoint.
Yes, exactly.
Like I'm just saying, you got a 17-13 lead and you don't turn the ball over. If you got a 17-13 lead, you don't turn the ball over. Let's say, for example, you go down and you score. It's an entirely different situation here. And so I'm looking at it from that standpoint. I'm not taking anything away. I don't disagree with a word y'all said about Jayden Daniels in terms of the season that he's had, the greatness that he's put on display, the fact that he doesn't look like a rookie. He's clearly going to be the offensive rookie of the year. The brother is special. There is no doubt about this. He is everything the nation's capital fantasized about RG3 being when he was there, and then some. And oh, by the way, when you think about a rookie win, it's the first rookie to win since Russell Wilson beat RG3 in 2012. And so you got to look at it from that standpoint. I get where y'all are coming from.
But I mean, RG3 is a good example of like if RG3 was in today's day and age, if he was playing in today's NFL, it'd be perfect for him. It'd be perfect offense. Like a lot of pistol, a lot of read option, operating in that kind of RPO world. Like that's where RG3 was really good at. And now we're seeing the NFL game look very similar to what college looked like about 5 years ago, where it's dominated by that pistol, the pistol kind of RPO situation. Right now it just looks unstoppable with some of these quarterbacks and just how athletic they are and how good they are in space. And, these 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 3s, just, it's almost like playing like against somebody in Madden or something where they have like Michael Vick in Madden 2004, where it's hard enough to stop him on 1st and 10. On 3rd and 3, it's like he's just going to drop back and scramble and pick it up. Like it's just going to be the easiest thing in the world.
I'm simply making the point that turnover was that crucial. This is not about the season. This is about yesterday. And yesterday, if Baker Mayfield doesn't commit that turnover, it puts Tampa Bay in a far better position to walk away with the victory like yesterday, as opposed to it
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if he doesn't fumble, like Tampa's in the driver's seat, sure.
actually happening.
But here's where I push back on it, Stephen A. I understand that the fumble matters, but you know what else matters even more? That on 4th and goal, Dan Quinn goes for it again when on the previous series they got stopped and Jayden throws the touchdown. So while the turnover matters, if Jayden doesn't throw that touchdown pass, the turnover actually doesn't really ever happen
Which speaks to the greatness of Jayden Daniels, because he's done it on numerous occasions, 5 or 6 times this year. I get that part, but if he doesn't have the ball
When you
in his
making
hand,
our point, Stephen A.
What
Shannon,
am I don't think I am, Shannon. I don't think I am. I'm saying if Baker Mayfield holds on to the ball, Jayden Daniels doesn't have as many opportunities.
But what happens if they don't score on that possession? It doesn't matter if the team turns the ball over.
Okay, well, ESPN has okay, well, we're gonna have to get off this. So this stat right here is from Benjamin Solak. The Buccaneers had a 65.2% dropback success rate against the Commanders. That's the best dropback success rate in a playoff loss this century. Okay, I mean, look at that. Like, since 2012, again, they are dominating the line of scrimmage. They are dominating the success rate. All of that is there. They're stopping the run. They're crushing them on 1st and 2nd down. And yet they can't get them off the field. What's going on here? And it's almost like a cheat code, or it's almost like the game is broken in a sense, but we're seeing it with Washington. We're seeing it with Baltimore. We're seeing it with Philadelphia. We're seeing it with Buffalo. And I think this trend is just going to continue, but it was crazy to watch. Daniels is special, no doubt about it. I mean, he is special. You have to be a really special player to break the game. He has broken the game, and the Commanders are willing to just kind of spam this just like a kid would in Madden, and I don't blame them. But if you're Tampa Bay, you have to be in the locker room after this game looking around like, damn, we all feel pretty good about this. You know, like, if you can't look at this and be like, man, we just couldn't get to Daniels. It's like, no, we could. We did. Man, we just couldn't stop the run. Couldn't get him off the field. No, we did. We not sure what happened. So crazy stuff, man. But Washington's got something special. Washington absolutely has something special in Jayden Daniels. He is breaking the mold. He is completely changing how teams will operate on offense. Unreal. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.